Hello! Welcome back to Diablo 4, episode 16. Mikey?
Yeah, we're here. Hey, get ready to rock your socks off. Chris mentioned in the last episode that he was going to blue ball you. Here you go.
Alright, now it's time to drain those balls and find out what's going on in here. Yes, folks, I'm a terrible person. Welcome to my world.
My commentary is equally as horrible. Did I just press... Yep, I just did.
We're supposed to go into the vault.
Hey, it's in and out of the vault. Come on, man.
Alright. So now we need to talk to the real here.
Not what I expected. But let's not give up hope.
It looks old and
All we
abandoned.
need is one book, one spell
One
to
single
help us cross the Black Lake and stop Lilith.
One single spell. It's called Screw You.
Alright, here we go.
Sealed shut.
That's
What is
unfortunate.
the passage over there?
Hey, come on. You can't just walk through the door right away. There's got to be some foreplay.
That's true. And we are playing with the fours right now. Got quill rats.
Oh, lovely.
Yay!
Yay!
They are actually archers in a way. That guy just fucking... Did you see how far that corpse flew?
Yep.
He landed on top of me.
Hey, I thought you needed some love because I've got a huge party, okay?
Good point, good point.
Found the book.
Alright, we found what we needed.
Let's suppose first is an incantation. Lined with rust. Perfect. I'm looking for tetanus.
This is... I think it's written in Horadric code. And here, the same symbol on the door.
Alright.
I have an idea.
I want to say that is Tyrael's symbol that's on the door.
Alright,
You might want to
interesting.
take a step back.
I think. Don't quote me, people. I think.
I'm not taking a step back.
Chaspith Chut.
Ah!
Interesting.
Alright. We're in here. On the door.
Just over
We
there.
gotta follow that rail. Bitch, what are you doing? Come on.
Hey, wait for me.
Hey, wait for me.
No, get moving, bitch.
Come on. My stubby legs can walk faster than you.
Yeah. I'm tip-topping around.
Ooh. Oh, that looks like Lilith's symbol, I
That's a
think.
very interesting symbol.
It's the same seal as before. Should be easy enough to break it again. But why would someone use it here?
One way to find out.
Of course.
Such an
Can't
astute
let anything
observation.
stop our pursuit of Lilith.
I think I
Uh,
mentioned this before, but I'm mentioning it again. I really like the voice acting overall in this game.
Yeah.
Except for the main character. Most of them sound very bland.
They're uninteresting. Like,
Yeah.
it's the equivalent of like a male shepherd or a male hawk for me.
Yeah, we
Which-
did talk about that a couple parts
Yeah,
ago.
we talked about that a couple parts ago. It's just like, but it seems like all the characters. I don't know how the barbarian is, but I can tell you the druid has the same problem.
Well, I'm playing a female druid or a female barbarian, and it's a very boring voice.
Well, I think this is where Diablo 3 stands out, where the main character voice actors, they had 7 or 8 different talented voice actors that did the voice of the characters, and they were phenomenal. Crispin Freeman, who does the voice of Alucard in Hellsing Ultimate, is in Diablo 3. He does a sorcerer.
Nice.
I don't know who does the necromancer, but I love the gravelly voice of the necromancer in Diablo 3. Oh, it's so good for like a male Diablo, like necromancer. Barbarian's pretty good. No, it wasn't sorcerer. I want to say Crispin Freeman did the demon hunter, which is rogue, but you can dual wield crossbows.
Oh, that's awesome. I want to dual wield crossbows.
And spin around and just constantly rapid fire. Oh, it's a fantastic playthrough. We found a hellion and some burning dead and
Ow!
skeletons.
Fucking skeleton. Dick.
Hey, be nice to my party
Oh,
members.
shit.
He's like, Gateway, coming through.
That lord's kind of a pain in the ass.
That was a little bit of a nod to StarCraft the Marine.
Oh. There you go.
Also made by Blizzard. Oh. Which you haven't played StarCraft at all, have you?
No,
Oh. If there's a way that we can figure out how to make your PC run with it on top of record, definitely gotta introduce you.
I think that's possible.
Yeah, that's one thing we're gonna end up doing for the channel. We're gonna switch up between like consoles and different games and styles, because there's some games that Chris plays that I don't, and there are some games I play that Chris has got either limited or no exposure to.
I mean, we're doing one right now. I've never done Diablo before.
This one's a pretty solid introduction for like what you can get for like the story and the narrative.
True.
But I think like if we do our next like Diablo series,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to introduce you to the 3 and how crazy it gets.
I would agree with that. So just for the record, you know, that's actually something we really haven't done, and as we're many parts into this, we really haven't talked about ourselves a whole lot here in our gaming, what we typically game or what we typically do. If you go and watch my my other gaming channel, my solo one, I typically am a platformer kind of guy. So I like Mario's. I'm playing the EKC series right now. I love the Mega Man X series, and I want to play the Mega Man series, but I haven't played yet. So I tend to be maybe more quicker games, and
You kind of land into like the retro platformers that are pretty straightforward, but have enough difficulty where it adds a little bit of padding to the game, but not artificial padding where a lot of modern games have.
exactly, and I enjoy that. Now that doesn't mean I don't get into RPGs. I do. I love the Dragon Age series. I love the Fable series. Well, the first 2 games in particular.
Fable 3 can go find a different father somewhere because we disown it.
It's just not good. I love the Mass Effect series. That's one of my favorite. That's one of my all-time favorite series. Even if it ended. Oh, where am I going?
The ending. They did
No.
They did retcon the ending, which the extended endings definitely made it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Where I can forgive that.
I agree with that. And I do enjoy the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. That's probably one of my top 5 favorite games ever. The first one. I love that game.
I'm still in
I want a remake.
remake. The last time I checked, the remake's on hold.
Yeah, I know. I want it though.
Yeah, but it's got to be a good remake though.
I agree.
For me, like, hey, we found a boss.
Oh, we have a boss. Alright, I have fought this boss. I will tell you, she is not that difficult, but she has this particular move where if she gets to all the wall and you see her do this, get the fuck out of the way. That hits hard.
Okay, so it's a line AOE. Got it.
Yeah, it hits hard.
I'm gonna hit her with that. Me, Mikey Bike, I don't have a gaming channel, but what I do primarily on my free time, I'm a mix in terms of games. Like, if a game has a very solid mechanic or very good controls, I will give it a shot. Like, I'm not really good at first-person shooters, but one of my favorite first-person shooter games from the Call of Duty franchise was the Call of Duty remake that came out several years ago. I play a little bit of everything. I dabble. My first introduction into like quote-unquote video games was Command & Conquer Red Alert when I was 7 years old, which is an RTS strategy series, a little bit complex. So like my like nod to gaming, I love strategy games. I love like trying to piece things together to make things work. Oh, I don't like whatever that was.
Yeah, about that. The AOE's, man, that one AOE is really, and then you don't want to get in the middle either, because that's kind of like a weird vortex thing.
But for so many years, I had like a Nintendo 64 and GameCube, and underpowered PC. So like, I was playing a lot of like my Star Wars games that I could run on a PC, along with like a Star Wars strategy game, which is still one of my favorite strategy games. Even though I think they could have had more done to it, but that's a story for a different time. Star Wars Republic Commando, which is hands down one of my favorite like shooters that came out in the early 2000s. If you haven't played Republic Commando, buy the port for your systems. It is worth a playthrough because you're playing a squad of like special, like the equivalent of like a Navy SEAL squad of clone troopers, and you're getting the clone troopers' perspective of the Clone Wars.
Oh.
And it's a really solid campaign.
Alright, real quick, on this battle spell, as she gets lower in health, as she gets past those arrows on top, she spams that AoE more. I died to her twice because I wasn't paying attention to that enough with the Barbarian, and they hit fucking like a truck.
And she's using whatever that chest is in there
Yes.
to heal her up. I'm down on skeleton, so we're going to kind of have to be careful on this.
Yes, yes.
Um,
Actually, she's not. I think she's actually easier as a Barbarian. That's one thing I would give her right now.
Yeah, we're kind of glass. We're both kind of glass cannons right now. But
Down the way.
I kind of dabble, but like some of my go-tos are RPGs. Just primarily because I got into modern gaming when I was in college, so I like the complexity of some of the RPGs, like Mass Effect, like Dragon Age is definitely one, like learning the status effect. Dude, I freaking tanked that one.
Yeah, you did. I saw that. I was a little bit surprised by that. That shit hits so fucking hard.
As long as I'm not vulnerable, I'm good, but I'm going to continue just kind of like dodging and weaving.
This is not really that hard of a boss.
No, it is literally like microwaving what I would do in terms of playing Hades.
Yeah.
Which is
It's really our first boss so far. Ooh, that's gonna hit me. That really doesn't give you. You know, we do a lot of dungeons. You know, when we do dungeons, a lot of the bosses they give you like
that
moves like crazy.
that definitely hit. All right, this boss definitely feels like dumbed down. Like get this first act done before you go do dungeons.
Yeah.
Lady, you're not that scary. Come on. You're more of a pain in my neck. However, like more and more as I get into modern gaming, and this is part of the reason why, like we mentioned the last time when we had server issues trying to log on, I'm becoming a little bit more and more cynical with modern gaming.
Oh, I
I think that. I don't like the idea of constantly being online all the time because sometimes I can't, or sometimes like even with my Switch, I'm on the road or I'm visiting family. I'm not able to get logged in anywhere. Where indie games, especially the modern indie game market, is really good right now.
Yeah.
One of my favorite like quote unquote indie games from a developer was Hades by Supergiant Games. Very Diablo-esque style game, but it's one that we're going to get to the channel just to show Chris it, and also show what a good, like very well polished game can offer in a AAA market setting, because it is hands down one of my favorite games to just sit down with and casually play.
Talk about Hades though, right?
Yeah, Hades. It's so good. So I dabble. But like, if I would have to say preference, RPGs. If it has anything with a strategy laid into it, I have either turn-based or real-time. I have so much fun with
We
it.
gotta grab this book.
Let's grab this book.
That's fair.
Guardian, I should take this back.
Yeah, I am a bit of a mixed gamer myself. I mean, I do tend to have a preference, but We can take this to go back to her Benwood. Or we can continue exploring if you want, but we can take this to go back to Nevrel. Or to the beginning of the dungeon.
Just go back.
But yeah, so that's kind of us in a nutshell, what our gaming preferences are.
Even though I like the Call of Duty Modern Warfare remake, the Doom 2016 reboot, along with the two Wolfenstein games, New Order and New Colossus, showed what modern shooters are supposed to respond like.
Mm-hmm.
They are hands down some of my favorite games to play.
Yeah. I'm not much of a first-person shooter, but I will say Modern Warfare 3 I did enjoy a lot.
That was a very fun, like the original Modern Warfare series was a solid trilogy.
And offline stuff, but terrorist hunt for Rainbow Six Vegas and Vegas 2, my buddy and I got really good at that, and I liked doing that too. That was fun.
This is chronicling
Yeah, fucking Seed, no offline co-op, you bastards. I'm still pissed about that.
That's not what we're looking for.
Talk about the online stuff.
Oh, hey, Blizzard, Activision, stop forcing me to log into stuff.
And that's one of the reasons why I have almost no interest in getting a PS5 or an Xbox
Are you
X
sure
or
this
S.
is a good idea?
By the way, Xbox, fucking stupid name.
My mother will help
When you
us
have an
then.
Xbox One X and S2.
Meet me down there.
Yep.
But I don't know. I just don't care enough.
For me, it's I'm looking at like some of the quality of the games that are coming out. I've got to have more. I've got to have enough of a buy-in. Like I've got to make sure like the purchasing cost for the system, I can justify it, or otherwise that adds one rank of corpse explosion.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep, we're going.
You know, I never looked at my specializations. I just realized that.
Whoops.
Your basic. I can only pick one of these. Your basic skills now generate combo points. Core skills consume combo points for additional effects.
That's not
I
bad.
don't know what that is, but we'll go with it. Inner sight, attack marked enemies to fill up your inner sight gauge. When it's full, gain unlimited energy for 4 seconds.
Oh, additional effects. I know what you. So your core skills are all your activated skills rather than your basics.
Yeah, that's my barrage and my rapid.
But you can use those combo points, so it could start opening up certain status effects.
Maybe that's another reason why I'm freezing some people.
Yeah. Going back to like my RPG like strategy mix, one of my favorite like blends of those is Darkest Dungeon. Because it has that heavy like RPG party system management with a bit of a strategy in terms of like the town management and rebuilding the hamlet, to the strategy of, okay, I've got this effect, I need to negate this effect, plus, oh hey, this guy does this, I need to like, it goes to so almost level of micro. When we do it for the channel, I'm probably going to end up being the one playing it. When we get to battles, Chris is probably going to be the only one doing commentary, because I'm going to be so focused on microing everything.
That's kind of the nice thing about having 2 or 3 people with commentaries. The other person can take over when one is wanting to focus, or
Yeah, like
that's why I run into on my normal gaming channel sometimes with, you know, especially when I was in the Mega Man X franchise. Not that the bosses were overly hard, because they're not, but every now and then you get one that can pain in the ass. I'm through X4, by the way. And yes, we're going to play that on this channel at some point too.
Yeah, I think that's our next series coming up.
That's going to be one of our next games. The original Mega Man X, one of my favorite games of all time.
I have no exposure to it.
I love it. I've played it since I was a kid. It's a blast. I can't wait to play it. It won't be it won't be a long series or game. I think. Oops! I think I just used both. Or you. But it is. I just enjoy the concept of it. It's an easy. You know, it's not gonna be like this, but it's only gonna be like 6, 7 parts long, maybe 8. You know, depending on how we do it.
It'll be about when we get to Ocarina of Time. It might be like 20, 30 parts long. But I'm the same way. Like that's the game I grew up on, and that was. And even now that I'm a grown adult, I still love going back to that game because it's such a good game.
It seems like a pain in the ass 100%.
It is. To go get all the hearts.
Hearts and the Skulltulas,
Skulltulas, yeah. But so is Majora's Mask too.
You ain't wrong there. I have a lot of exposure to Majora's Mask.
Majora's Mask is interesting as a Zelda game because for like in conjunction to like Ocarina of Time, like Ocarina of Time is from an allegorical standpoint, it's discussing growing up, stepping into like adulthood a little bit, even though you're a kid. But there's a very real thing, and like as a kid, like part of the reason why like Majora's Mask terrified me as a kid is because it was talking about death and like dying, and you're going through the different stages of grief. Now as an adult, it's still terrifying, but at the same time, you start seeing like what they hid in there, their discussion of death, and it's
How are we going, by the way?
all the way up there.
Wow.
But we got a like special effect that's just letting us wreck things. So
Oh yeah. Artillery. I love the artillery one. When we get
Yeah. Also, this is good just to grab herbs,
that. Yeah.
fill up.
We do need to do that.
But like I think of that, and it's like there's a part of the reason why like even though like Majora's Mask is quote unquote like not your typical Zelda game, there's something to it that I got you.
I don't know why I did.
That there we go. That's better.
You level up, I think, this time.
Yep.
We got new skeletal mage.
I can make a bone.
Boom, 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 boom.
Bone mages use their own body to heavy damage at the cost of their own life. But after being alive for 5 seconds, oh man.
Same potential glass cannon?
Or each time a bone mage dies from its own attack, they leave a corpse behind for it and fortify you 20%. That's a pretty good status effect. And it would be just recycling corpses.
Yeah.
I think that would be good.
It's not bad.
Now I'm going to go to abilities, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to upgrade the Skeletal Mage Mastery, which should increase their life and damage. So I'm upgrading my minions primarily because my minions have been a powerhouse at this point.
Yes.
And I need these guys around.
They really do help us.
But kind of getting back on the Majora's Mask, like it stands out as a Zelda game because it breaks the norm of what you think a Zelda game should be like. Like you're going on an adventure, but it's not the adventure that you think it is.
Majora's Mask is such a unique game in the franchise. I agree with that. It's just, there's nothing really like it, otherwise.
Very few games have emulated it in the Zelda timeline has emulated its dark tone. Like
No, it
but it's that dark tone that makes it like stand out. Like
Breath of the Wild has it a little bit,
but it's
not the same.
not the same. Like Breath of the Wild stands out because it went back to OG Legend of Zelda. Open world, kind of go at your own thing after the tutorial, but at the same time, it had some elements of modern gaming, quest tracking. So it brought Zelda into the modern era, which has its ups and downs.
It does. Of course, Tears of the Kingdom is a whole different beast. I mean, it's a lot like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh, those are someone else's animals. A druid probably ran by.
Ah.
Because druids can summon animal companions. I've got wolves on mine. Werewolf with wolves. Yeah, I know. A little on the nose, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Majora's Mask overall. It's one of my favorites. I never beat it because I get past the first 3 and the Stone Temple just kind of pisses me off.
The Stone Temple pisses me off, but at the same time, like the boss, when you get that final killing blow, but it speaks on acceptance when he finally kills himself on his own terms.
Yeah.
And you've probably already seen some of it, the ending, or probably not. I don't know.
What?
Majora's Mask.
Yeah, I've seen the entire game.
So
I just haven't beat it.
to put it this way, like that acceptance stage. So when Link goes and like finally gets what he needs to leave Termina, and you find him back in the Lost Woods, and he walks off into the mist. That's him accepting his death.
Oh.
Or in the case of Navi's departure, in a way. But at the same time, I think it's him accepting his death in the Lost Woods, because later on in the timeline, for that timeline in the Zelda timeline, you have Twilight Princess, and if you do all the wolf statues, here's a little drop for those of you who haven't played Twilight Princess or haven't paid attention to it. All the wolf songs that you do are all songs from Ocarina and Majora's Mask, which goes back to the Hero of Time.
I didn't get into Twilight Princess Rough. I dabbled in it, but it does seem like it has a very interesting story compared to most Zeldas.
It is. That was one that, like, next to Ocarina of Time, it's my second favorite Zelda.
I'm so weird with Zelda because it's not my favorite series, and it just depends on the game. Like Skyward Sword, I thought was junk. Like I don't like Skyward Sword. I'll be the first.
Yeah. The motion controls even on the Switch port is still not good.
I'm a big fan of Wind Waker, especially the updated version where the sailing's a lot better.
Wind Waker, I initially didn't like it. Now, but since it's aged so well, and even the controls, compared to modern gaming, are so freaking tight on a GameCube controller.
I'll get mine on the way.
It's a lovely game.
It's a good game. It's a bit underdeveloped, and I can see that. You could tell there should have been more in the game. And if you do your research on it, there's definitely some. You could kind of tell that had some crunch on the development time. There's some shit. You just get one of the things willy-nilly without fucking needing one of the orbs or whatever, without even really doing anything, and that's kind of disappointing.
Well, I think what was fun for me was like the exploring, like the islands, just going and getting like the small challenges. So it added that type of padding to the game. That it was fun in that sense.
It did, and I enjoyed that game. I'm a huge fan of Link to the Past.
Link to the Past, honestly, that's number 3 spot for me.
That's probably currently my favorite Zelda game of all time. And I played the randomizer version of that, and that game, and that really brought the new light.
Link's Awakening. Played that one on Game Boy, and they did a port over to the Switch, which gave it some modern touch up for graphics and tightened up the controls a bit. But it would that one I like a little bit. Not as much as Link to the Past, but it's up there.
Yeah, it's kind of a retelling of Link to the Past, right?
In a way,
it's not. It is and it's not. It's in that same universe, but
yeah.
You're almost done, by the way.
Oh, am I? Oh, yep, I am. Oh, yeah, because I have a file one right on my butt.
It's executed one of them. There's a potion over here. Do you need it?
Yeah.
Got some more potions there. So. But anyway, I think most Zeldas we're probably planning on playing at some point or another.
Yeah.
I don't know if all of them are going to be, but I mean I could care less to play the NES ones.
Yeah, it's not. They're good for old school nostalgia, but at the same time, it's no.
But
the Link's Adventure or whatever it is, Zelda 2. No, thank you.
Now, one thing I do want to do is play on this, and it won't be part. I won't part it out. It'll be one session because it'll be probably between 2 to 3 hours. Is do a randomizer seed on our. It'll be a 2 to 3 hour video. It'll be all the way through, and then show you guys what exactly is going on with it. I love the randomizer for it. It's fucking awesome. The only negative about it is I'll actually have to use my computer to. You have to. I don't have the memory capability to remember every check I made, what items I have, what. I am pretty decent with knowing where I can go. I can do some minor glitches.
Then that means if we end up playing like a Souls game like Bloodborne, I'm just gonna have to be the one to do that because I can. If I'm playing a game like Bloodborne where I have no map and I have to be consciously aware of what's going on, everything just goes straight into long-term memory.
Yeah, I'm good with maps and stuff, but the problem I have with that is I'll sometimes forget what checks I have or what items I have even, and then in a randomizer you have to remember. Okay, so in this to get in this dungeon I need this, this, and this. So when you have a tracker, and I got on my spot emo tracker is the one I use. It simplifies it. But the problem is you have to, I have to do it by hand. I can't. There is a way to do it where I can hook up my SD2 SNES to the computer and I can do it actually automatically.
Yeah.
But I haven't done that yet because that's a bit beyond my capabilities right now, in terms of like mental and computer stuff. But
this is interesting. A little bit of a lore drop, and we'll kind of end the episode on this. Lilith showed me the ugly truth of our cosmos, the eternal conflict. Angels and demons have battled over control of all creation for all time. To what end, I asked, and she simply laughed.
Did we miss that the first time around? We've been through here before.
I think so. Unless if this is new scrawlings.
I mean, maybe, but that's from the mother, but the mother's dead.
Yeah, the mother's dead, so I don't know.
Well, I do agree with you. We are headed back to the Black Lake where we killed Narelle's mother. And we're gonna have some.
We're gonna have an interesting time.
We are. So join us for episode 17. We're already going into 17 parts.
Yeah, and we're still in Act 1.
We're still in Act 1.
That tells you like the depth of this story. It's a pretty good one.
It is, and it has to have that. And we can actually see some bad dudes over in the right corner there, which is
it's like
funny.
I'm just walking around.
But so we'll go take out those bad dudes in episode 17. Zunker here, Mikey Vike there.
See ya.